We talk about like playing college baseball and how it is literally simulating the working environment, and it's just a game.
Yeah.
Like you said, you need to show up on time. You need to work with other people, and you're working with 30 other dudes who you probably, if you weren't playing baseball, would never run across in life.
Oh yeah. Like we talked about it. Like the higher you go though, so like you have start as a kid, literally travel ball. Those are all volunteers. And you go to high school. Okay, they're paid a little bit more. They're usually teachers. Again, it's supplemental income for them. It's not like they're competitive, but it's not like their livelihoods ride on them winning and losing. And then you get to college and it's like, oh, that guy's job, how he feeds his family relies on 18 to 22-year-olds playing well, performing well. And it's like, it's a job. I mean, he's out. He's out if he's out of a job. Or he goes to be an assistant somewhere and he goes from making six figures to $60K a year. I mean, that's pretty nuts.
When we're talking baseball coaches too, like getting promoted and demoted in sports is just like, it's literally prevalent everywhere. I mean, you have mid-major baseball coaches, coaching schools you may have never even heard of at the D1 level that are making $110,000. They do bad at that job and they get fired. Like you said, it's a $50,000 pay cut to go to like an assistant job.
And they may not ever get a head coaching job again.
Yeah.
And like sports is like, isn't sports like the prime example of success or failure? Everyone can see it. We have our old college coach, still coaches. We have an old teammate now. How easy is it? They would never know if we're successful or not. Never. They probably would never figure that out. But I can literally look up if they're successful or not by just going online and looking at their like schedule, their record.
And that's what I love about sports is there's a scoreboard. Obviously, with business, like we talked about, I can go say I made $10 million last year.
Yeah,
you don't know. You see somebody with a Lamborghini on Instagram, and you're like, dang, they must be doing well. And then you go look up, it's like, oh, it's $500 to rent a Lamborghini for an hour. I mean, I could get so much content out of that thing in an hour.
It's just, I don't know. That's why it's tough, because it just goes back to social media. It's, again, highlights. Like, that could be my hour of highlights. And it could be like, oh, it looks like Ben owns a Lamborghini. No, I just rented it for a day and just took a bunch of videos with it. Like, that's kind of dumb. But, yeah, sports, you see, I mean, and it's such massive learning experiences from it. Like, I mean, you and I have talked all the time. We have the craziest kind of like story of college. And that's why, Mike coming on next week, it's kind of like interesting because it's like his services we could have used, but in an advice standpoint. But you and I went to 3 different community colleges in 2 years, and then committed to one D1 school, decommitted, and then committed to another one, and finally spent 2 years there. But like, and you had 3 schools in 4 years?
Yep. D1 school, junior college, D1 school.
Like it's
4,
5, yeah, 4 and 5.
4 and 5, yeah, because then I had my graduate year, but a different D1.
Yep, getting cut. We both been cut.
Yep.
Gosh,
and it's funny too, because like coming out of high school, you think you're the top dog because it was just like high school is so easy. Like, in everybody has their different levels to it. Because some people are like, well, high school sports as far as I made it. Yeah, but you dominated some other facet of your life. Everybody kind of has their thing if they put in any effort to anything. And it's so weird when your thing that you think you're so good at, someone says, yeah, you're not very good at that.
But yeah, or like you start to not be good at that. I mean, that happened to me numerous times in my college career, and it helped. It helped later on down the line because it was failure. I mean, and then you're like, oh man, okay, well, I've heard no before. I've heard, hey, you're not going to be on this team, you're cut. I mean, that's a gut punch back in your 18, 19, 20 years old, and your identity relies on sports.
Yeah. Well, that's the weird thing about sports too, is like when you get cut, in your head, especially when you're young, it's like the season is over, my career is over. And it's kind of the same thing where there's like a lot of parallels with business where you can say like, I don't know, you don't make any money or your business is failing. You can give up, but you also have the opportunity to be like, all right, can I transfer to another school? Can I try this again? Like, just because one person told me that I'm not good enough, do I agree with that? Where it's like business, you have the same opportunity. You kind of have 2 options. Pick yourself up and try again, or feel bad for yourself.
Oh, yeah. And you and I like college sports is the wild, wild west now. And it's so interesting to me because you get college coaches that now have to run a business, right? Because now there's managing money, you're managing employees, how much each one pays, egos, all kinds of stuff. Like I heard yesterday that the Clemson baseball coach said no to guys in the portal because they were asking more money than every guy on the team. Okay, so it's kind of interesting because college coaches are usually guys that's never left college. They've never had a job in I wouldn't say the real world, but they never had like a corporate job. And so now there's a lot of pushback in college sports because the players are getting paid. And now it's like, well, now they need to manage that. They need to manage a budget. They need to fundraise.
Well, you see like general managers coming in because it's no longer just, hey, let me bring you on a recruiting visit. Let me take you out to dinner. Let me do whatever like they used to do. And you'd see the Nick Sabans, the Dabo Sweeneys of the world, they dominate that space. Well, now it's like, hey, you don't even talk to me. You talk to my agent now who's going to negotiate my NIL deal or my revenue share deal.
Or a family member.
Or
your dad. I mean,
and it's like, okay, now you have a coach who knows football and who knows recruiting and showing a kid a good time. They don't know money, though.
Dude, I'm sure you remember this. College coaches don't want to deal with your parents. They never wanted to deal with your parents. Now it's like they are forced to deal with someone outside of you. And it's so funny because you would talk to a college coach and be like, these guys need to make their own decisions. And then it's like, you're talking to an 18 to 22-year-old and you're like, well, you got 48 hours to commit or like the scholarship's gone. You're like, again, the pressures they were able to put on a player, it's now kind of like, the player has a little bit more.
Yeah, they have a lot more leverage.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I had the same experience too. It's the, hey, you have this is our offer. You have 48 hours to decide.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, shoot. I mean, for me, I was in Seattle, so I go fly to Richmond. One day is completely spent traveling. And you're like, you're coming off. The crazy thing too is like, and any kid who's going to play college sports, we had the same exact experience. Your visit is going to be nothing like your experience at the college.
Absolutely not.
And it's not even a bad thing. But your coach is going to be so nice to you on your visit. Oh, yeah. They are going to be just the kindest person ever. The first day you get to practice, just know you are on the bottom of the totem pole. Yeah. You have done nothing for that coach yet.
Well, 100%. And then, if you don't perform, then you're really not. Again, it goes back, like you and I have talked, it goes back to building relationships, just in general in life. College sports is just again, it just goes back to highlighting it a little bit more, at least in our perspectives of man, I didn't play very good. The coach didn't talk to me. The coach didn't build a relationship. Now, believe me, I came from a wrestling background. I had a hard ass for a grandpa, I wouldn't say a hard ass for a dad, but both competitive individuals. Coaching hard is not something I'm afraid of. Someone wants to tell me they want to use, they want to cuss at me and say that I'm playing like shit. Hey, nope, I can take that constructive criticism, but you got to build the relationship. The tough love, there has to be, if you want to be tough, there has to be love. There has to be hey, I'm hard on you because I believe in you, other conversations, just depending on the coach, that may or may not happen.
Yeah, I think the worst spot you can be in is not when your coach is constantly getting on you or screaming at you or doing any of that. It's when they don't talk to you.
Oh, yeah.
It's when everybody goes silent because they care so little that they don't even talk to you anymore.
The pitching coach that cut me, I'm still friends with to this day. It's just and he's a much older guy than me, and I enjoy him. And again, I was cut. I had nowhere to go. Brutal situation. Never had been cut before. Still talk to him all the time because he built a relationship with me.
Because there's two types of coaches. Are you going to cut a kid because he's not good, right? And you can still have the human aspect. Yeah. That's the worst thing about a lot of college coaches is there's so many who just don't even treat players like humans.
Yeah.
You get in there and you've heard it your whole entire life. And I love all the loyalty talk. And the reason I kind of like NIL is because it's turned it on the coaches, because a lot of people aren't aware of this. And we both dealt with it. You can bring 50 guys. With baseball, you need to keep 30, 35 guys.
Something like that.
They will bring 50 to 55 guys in the fall. They will cut 20 to 25 guys. They will promise them all a scholarship, or my favorite term in the entire world, the preferred walk-on. There's no such thing as a preferred walk-on. You're just a dude without a scholarship that they're letting wear a jersey. And then after the fall finishes for baseball, you'll start seeing the meetings, and hopefully you're not in the first half of the meetings because they're going to cut those 20 dudes. Exactly what happened to me, and it happins all over the country.
I think you and I had the same experience, though. At least when they cut us, they were shortened to the point.
Oh, no, I'll never forget. I'm walking out of I'm walking into the room, and I'm kind of looking at where the names are out on the board, and I was like, okay, well, I'm definitely better than that guy. So I think, well, I'm not better than that guy. So I think I'll definitely be in, and he'll probably be one of the last guys. I come rolling out. This dude's got tears in his eyes, and I'm like, oh, I'm next.
Oh no.
I'm gonna walk through that door and I'm gonna be told I'm done.
Or like if you're an optimist, like if it was optimistic, it's like, man, that's tough for that guy. It must have been the last guy cut.
Yeah. Well, and the thing too is like they mixed in like a few of the dudes I was for sure gonna make it. They also got cut. So I was like, okay, they're definitely gonna make it. And I was like,
I'm in good shape.
Yeah, I'm in good shape. And then all of a sudden, like when you see those dudes just turn the corner, they got tears in their eyes, and you're like, oh no, I didn't make it.
The week before they started making cuts, the coach came in for like a grade check. And I mean, I'm sorry, junior college, if you just show up, for the most part, I have one class I struggled with, and that's it. But my grades were good.
Outside of math class, like a math class, to where there is no way to get around math. There is, just go to office hours. Pretty much, if you go to enough classes in community college, the professor will pass you.
Here's something you have to do. You have to show effort. I mean, it's not hard. Show up to class. I mean, at least when we were in there, half of the classes were based off attendance. Yes. I mean, what's an 8 a.m. class, 9 a.m. class? You have it Tuesday and Thursday. Get your ass out of bed and go to class. And then if you're struggling in it, they have office hours and you show a professor that you care about their class. I don't know, maybe they're a human being and they actually appreciate that. But anyways, he showed me, he was like they were going through, the coach was, and was like doing like kind of like grade checks, like, hey, pull up your grades, let me see them. I should have seen this, the writing on the wall, because like it was a week before cuts, and he's like, man, I don't need to see yours. You're good. And I'm like, oh, it must be because I'm well, actually, I didn't perform very well the fall, so I looked into it a lot, and I'm like, oh man, this isn't good. And it happened to be right. Like I got cut later, like in a week, but it's like, oh man, brutal.
And walking around campus, because like when I got cut, it's not at the end of the semester. It's not like right before they send you home. No. How baseball works is like you play the entire fall.
Yeah.
And well, you still have like half of November and then like December until you go back home for Christmas break. And you got to see these dudes around campus, and you feel like the plague walking around. Oh, I'll never forget getting cut and then just seeing these dudes, and it's always like the fakest, like, hey, how you doing, man? And you're like, I won't talk to you here in a month. I'll never see your face again in a month.
The guys that I dealt with, most of them are good. I don't know. I mean, it was just, but it's just kind of interesting because you're like, what the school did that I got cut from was they literally reached out to other schools in the conference and said, hey, we're going to cut this kid. He might be a good fit for you. And then they would let you know if you're interested or not. So like, it's kind of weird. You might even end up playing them in your conference later in the spring.
The weird thing too is like a lot of people don't realize all the coaches are boys. Everybody in a conference knows each other.
Yeah.
Like there's some brotherhood at the end of the day. Like these are all people who are making their money off of 18 to 22-year-olds.
Especially junior college.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's always funny. Every sport talks about, oh, it's a fraternity. It's a small world. It no joke is. Like it is insane. Like so-and-so knows, like I could connect the dots, and I could. I think I could connect all my stops that they somehow are like know each other, because like the D1 coach knew my first school I stopped at, their head coach. And then the second school, maybe. I mean,
but honestly, you can just, I could, with the people I know, connect all of your stops.
Yeah.
Like that's how many like people just go everywhere. Like that was the one thing, like, you see everybody, you see all the SEC schools, like coming out of high school, you're like, well, my goal is to play at Texas. Well, sadly, they didn't want an 88-mile-an-hour sidearm. Texas missed out big time.
You actually did. I mean, you're an All-American, so I mean.
So you like have these dreams. It's like, all right, I'm going to either like play Power 5. Then there's all these schools in the Northeast you've never even heard of that are all D1. So you're going to tell your friends you're all D1. But you don't really want to say the school name because they'd have no idea where that is.
In our midweeks, I mean, our non-conference was just filled with those schools.
You're like, William and Mary, who's that?
Manhattan.
Yeah, Norfolk State.
I mean, nothing against those schools, again, but it's expensive. That's kind of like the thing is like I got recruited by Binghamton, and I didn't know where Binghamton was, but they're actually good in the American East. It was them and Stony Brook, at least when I was getting recruited. And I'm like, where the heck is this?
Yeah, and
upstate New York.
And it's like it's like that's private.
Yeah.
So you're paying private tuition. If you're a junior college guy, you're probably not. If you're not an elite junior college guy, you are probably going to go to an out-of-state college from where you live.
Yeah.
That's going to be out-of-state tuition. Dude, that gets expensive fast. Yeah. Like I was from the state of Washington. I went to Virginia. They were like, oh yeah, here's your scholarship. And you're like, dang, I got 60%. And then you see the out-of-state tuition. You're like, damn, I'm taking 15 grand out in student loans.
Yeah. No. Well, and that's one of the things of like going back to like over recruiting is like you could bring a guy in from Washington all the way to Virginia. I will say the guy, like the coaching staff we played for at VCU, respect the shit out of them because they didn't over recruit and they stuck with the guys that they brought in, and it's that, appreciate that. And I see that. I saw that when I was a player, probably a little bit in my senior year more than my junior year, and like they made a commitment to me and they stuck to it. And like that's the other stuff, like other stuff that goes into it, whatever. But like the bare minimum, like when you're getting recruited is, are you just going to stick to your word? Shoot me straight. And they shot us straight.
Yeah.
In that aspect.
They honored the scholarship.
Yep.
When you sign with a school, there's no guarantee of playtime.
Yep.
When you sign somewhere, maybe they now have that. I don't know. Maybe I could negotiate it or something.
Yeah, maybe
but
an NIL.
when you sign to a school, they're going to give you a scholarship. You know, if you have NIL, they'll give you your money. There's no guarantee of playtime though.
Nope.